they are asking for respect. Nothing's wrong with just seeing a woman, complimenting her simply, you know, you look beautiful today, and then going about your way. Not everything you have to push the matter. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Girl, you're so sweet, girl. Girl, you're real sweet, girl.
On the beat.
Oh gosh, girl. Woo!
On the beat, 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 on the beat.
What's up,
On the
everyone?
beat, on the
My
beat.
name is Brent Balfour and this is Alexia Ralph. What's going on, girl?
I'm fine, thank you for asking.
All
I
right.
look fantabulous.
By chance, I only know who is this person. Yes, I know I just said her name. Yes, true. But do you know who is this person? She looks like a strange giant. Because you know why? This is the first time she has been part of the podcast.
Physically.
This season.
That is true. But, you know, I had things going on.
Yeah.
At first it was exams, which I have finally finished.
Busy girl, busy.
And then it was pageantry, which is still pageantry, right? You know?
I had to drag her out of her busy schedule, beg her, please, Alexia, please. You understand?
I had things going on, and as I say, it's still pageantry. You know, I take time out of my schedule to be here today.
Okay, so tell us more about your pageantry.
Okay, so at first I did Miss Sangre Grande, which was earlier this year around February, and I came first runner up. And now I am going on to do Miss La Rive, which is the Prime Minister's Best Village Talent and Trophy Competition. It's a
Right.
very long name, but
Right.
the title I'm trying to win is Miss La Rive, which in English translates to The Queen Lives.
Oh, the Queen lives.
The Queen Lives.
Hail the Queen.
Yes, the dates for these shows, because it's 2 shows, is the 19th of August and the 26th of August. So it's 1 week after the next.
One in Sapa and one in Napa.
Yes, the first one in Sapa and then the second one in Napa. And the second one is when you find out who getting the crown now.
All right.
Yeah.
So you think you're going to win that wrong? The Queen lives.
Listen, I have real confidence in myself, but I'm also a very realistic person, and the competition is stiff.
Real stiff.
It is so stiff. When I first saw the queens in the prelims,
Yeah.
I was second guessing if I was making it to the finals. I'm not going to lie. It was just up in my face.
So Alexia, so talking about queens, right? Because right now they're treating you all like queens.
Of course, as we should be, aren't all women queens?
Right. So
Right.
so the highlight is in India. They have been a big issue in India. I mean, for a long time, but recently it has been amplified because of the fact that a situation unfolded where some women were gang raped, and then they took their clothing away, and the woman ended up walking the streets, like paraded through the streets naked. And the highlight about it is that those type of criminal activities and disrespect to women in India have gone unpunished,
Yeah.
right? And
For years.
right? So right now the women protesting in India, and the question is, just like how you are treated as a queen, right? Why young women or women in general in India, for example, because that's where the situation is,
Right.
and not being treated as a queen, but they are treated as animals or tools or objects?
That is such a great question.
Could you
I'm
see
not going to
yourself
lie.
in that?
I would never want to see myself in it, but again, sometimes it's hard to think realistically, and there's always a possibility that as a woman, no matter what you do, you could end up in a situation like that. I mean, hopefully not to the point where you have to walk the streets without any garments on, but you have to be sensible as well. I mean, this is the world that we live in, and we reach the point where things could happen like that, and it's scary.
But why do you think, especially in India or in the Middle East, things happen like that, where the women are not respected as highly as the men? Is it because of the traditions that they value so much that men should be up here and women should be down here.
I was just thinking that, because as far as I know, I mean, I don't live in the Middle East, so I just going off general knowledge.
Yeah.
As far as I know, women don't really come out of the house to do a man's work, to say. So it will always have that thinking that they are beneath me, I am making the money, I am doing the most. But when you really think about it, even if a woman is not outside the house working, they have a lot to do. For example, right? Let me speak about pregnancies, because that is one thing that women could do that men absolutely cannot do, no matter how they try. A man cannot have a child on their own. Pregnancies are difficult things. I mean, I have never been pregnant, but even watching and hearing stories about it, it scares me. And I am a woman. It have things that women have to go through within themselves that a man will never have to face. I mean, is it really that women are beneath men, or is it that men just choose to say, I think I higher up because I'm capable of doing something that I think you cannot do?
Well, I think men are taught, in a general sense, they are taught to be leaders of the home, leaders of the society.
And nothing's wrong with that, because most women would love to feel secure in their home with a man present.
So therefore,
no, if no, but no, maybe.
So therefore, it comes down to abuse of power, abuse of authority.
It is. It does come down to that, because going back to how women should be treated like queens, men in these areas who chose, like especially those who chose to do this, it's all right. Let me talk about the I think it was the Prime Minister who gave the address, who said that he was very disgusted by.
Yes.
No, I can't. I am not.
It took him a long while before that address.
I know, and not only that, but I was going to say I do not read people's emotions properly. Well, I could read people's emotions very well, right?
Yeah.
But of course, I'm not trained anything. I'm not certified.
Yeah, you are not an FBI agent.
Yes, correct. But sitting there watching that video, looking at him speak, there was no emotion on this man's face. Therefore, he didn't. He cared that there was outrage, but he didn't care about the situation. Of course, I cannot speak to how he really felt, because maybe he has daughters, and he does not want to see them in that light. But the fact of the matter is, he looked as though he didn't care. His face was just blank.
And he was just doing a PR moment where, okay, I must address the nation to kind of calm down the whole situation and showcase that the government is after it.
Now, my face will show everything. So, if I upset, you will see that I am upset even if I am not speaking. So, to see that man stand there and his face was completely blank while talking about a situation that is very disgusting and highly outrageous, it was baffling to me. That is baffling to me. I mean, it's crazy how you could be comfortable with people of your country, women of your country, who facing their old trials, because I'm sure some of those women will love to go out the home and do things that men deem as man thing.
Or they would love to go out their home and even, be able to chill or go on a hike or something.
Do something other than be a housewife.
Yeah.
Right? But they don't really get the opportunity to. And I feel as though men, specifically in those areas, don't truly understand that women
have abilities.
Have abilities, yes, have all these good things. And outside of being the gender that they have the capability of doing things people wouldn't think is that they could do, right?
I remember in one of the earlier seasons we talked about Afghanistan and how they're shutting down the education system for the women.
Correct.
Understand? Because they don't want women to be educated and so on. But in India is not too far away from Afghanistan.
Right.
But this is like a different level of disrespect where rape is a natural thing happening, and they're not respecting. One thing to not respect women's intellect.
Right.
But it's another thing to not respect their bodies as well.
True, because that's the most, well, I wouldn't say the most, but one of the most disgusting ways to disrespect a woman. Aside from physical abuse, and that is a type of abuse, that's sexual abuse.
That is it. And what happens if the woman gets pregnant?
Exactly. What are they to do? Because they're not providing for themselves. They cannot go out and do it.
And most of the rapes scenarios that happen in India is gang rapes. It's not like it's one person, it's gang
It's
rapes.
multiple times, and that woman probably ain't even getting a breath.
No.
She ain't getting a chance to breathe.
And then too, if she gets pregnant, she don't even know who would be the
child's father. Especially seeing that I doubt they know anything about protection while having a good time.
And does the government have systems in place to handle those type of traumas that the woman has?
Of course not. Of course not.
Because they're not even looking.
They don't even care. They don't even care. And I saw in the protest, it had 95% of women in that protest.
Yeah, yeah. And
right?
a few men.
A few men.
Yeah.
People think that genders are just, you are female, you have to do this. You are male, you have to do this. But America is the most, I would like to say, progressive.
But sometimes
when it comes to genders,
a little too progressive.
True, but that's the best example of a country I could think of when it comes to progression, when it comes to genders. Yeah. And then it have women who will do things like construction, who are what is deemed as a man's work, work in offices.
I could understand gender equality.
Right.
Right. I could understand where give women the equal opportunity as men has, but be careful in. You see what the system have in play as well. They want to break down the leadership aspect.
Right.
You understand where I'm not saying women can be in the government system. They can't be ministers. They can't lead in this. They can't lead in that. I'm just trying to say that there must be structure still.
Right.
But I think for me, America have went to the extreme where they just destroy all structures.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
so
that is the best example in the world right now.
Men could be woman and woman could
be man. That's something I wouldn't really agree with, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
However, it is the one country or continent, whatever you want to call it,
where they try to push equal opportunity.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
There's always something. Like just today, I was watching. It had this. I don't know if it's a transgender or drag queen. I don't know what he is, but he won a pageant with all females. And apparently, if you had won, you would have gotten a scholarship to university. Mm-hmm. So he won, and then people were vexed because he stole that opportunity from a young woman.
I agree with that.
I agree with that too. Because when I think, I was doing pageants now, right? If I were to go into this pageant and
a pretty man.
Yeah, a pretty man. A pretty man wins this pageant after I break my back, sweat down a storm, and cry tears for however long, just for him to win a lump sum, right? Because it's good prize money, and you thinking that your work was for nothing. I could have just come here and look like a man.
And that's why I would say also why I said the structure, the leadership, or the certain gender structures should still remain as it is.
Right.
For example, a man shouldn't be able to enter a woman's competition.
Correct. I find that was so outrageous. I wanted to laugh, but it's such a serious thing.
And on the flip side, men, for example, the transgender situation where in Olympics, I remember it had a situation where a man, I think it was from South Africa or something,
right,
entered a race
for women.
Won, and right now it's in court, but I think the court ended up saying, okay, they allow him to get the gold medal or some kind of stuff.
So he won the race.
They're watching the kind of level of hormones.
Right.
You understand the level? It's down to science now. It's down to science.
What?
not about you being
That-
man or woman.
what?
It's all about, okay, let's
So
see the
he in
level of
the
testing.
midst of transition,
Yes.
but he not fully there
It
yet.
wasn't, yeah.
Just now they're going to have a transgender race
Exactly. Or a whole Olympics.
or a whole Olympics for the transgender community. But oh Jesus! This
But
is
anyway,
crazy. Yeah.
come back to the main thing is
Okay.
that women
Women
should
are
be
being disrespected.
Exactly, and they should be treated as queens. Do you think in the Western Hemisphere that men are valuing women, young women like you, as how they should? Men on the streets, strangers, employers, those who are employees to women bosses as well.
Okay. Oh,
For example, your mom, I sure lead a couple men.
She has, and I'm sure it was difficult for her to. Well, I wouldn't say difficult because she's a very strong-willed person, right? But I'm sure there were times where she got those attitudes from men because she was a woman in power. Aside from even being a woman in power and in the workplace,
Yeah.
going down the streets in Grandy alone, sometimes they can't even go by White Diamond because of how much men just be there and ready to.
How do you feel when that happens? Do you feel special or do you feel disrespected? Some women just feel special, I don't know.
Some women see special. I don't know. To me, I never see somebody good looking.
Right, this is that too.
So I feel like that's a main factor in the thing.
Yeah.
And listen, you could be old and good looking,
Yeah.
but all of them just look like the old and sleazy.
Yeah, and have no home.
They have nothing about themselves. They have nothing to offer me,
Yeah.
right? I sure if I go and ask them, here now you could drop me home, they have no car. So I don't know about feeling special. I mean, it's good to know that I am beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
I already knew this, so that's nothing that really feels in me. And especially, like, that's why I don't really go out by myself very often, for that exact
because of
reason.
the fact that you think there are men out there who want
I might get tifwe.
If
in
it's so-
Trinidadian
if it's so,
terms.
You really think so?
Yeah. In Trinidadian terms, I might get tifwe. I mean, I very good looking, you know. I find I good looking, and I feel when you're exuding confidence, people just tend to look at you more. And I walk with as much confidence as I can muster when the
Then-
day comes.
And then too, they are teaching you to walk with more confidence even.
Correct. Oh my, that alone was a struggle, walking. And just adding to the, when you're doing things that add to your confidence,
Yeah.
it is automatically translate to your everyday life.
Right.
So, yeah, doing pageantry, they're teaching you how to walk, adds to confidence. You're thinking, yes, I am more beautiful than I thought before. Look at me, I'm strutting down the street. And then some man would see you, suiting you. And you there like, sir. And part of me does want to be like, I'm a minor, but that would be a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie. Exactly.
Be a
That was
lie.
in your past.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if somebody asks for my age, I will lie.
Yeah.
I will lie. I'll say, well, I'm 16, 17.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So, I mean, it don't stop all of them, man. But some of them just tend to back away. If they ask, but as I say, I don't really like to leave the house by myself, so I barely face those situations, more so for those women who have to walk down the streets all the time and face that all the time, in the workplace, at school, even at school, right? When I used to go to secondary school, because as I say, I finished now. When I used to go to secondary school, even the boys younger than me felt it was okay that I'm somebody they could talk to. I mean, I'm not someone. I don't know. Like, I feel as though I'm comfortable with speaking to people who I already know. You know, especially after this whole COVID situation.
Yeah.
Having to go and speak to people new and you don't know them like that. People hungry out here, you know. And it does make it. I feel how people were home for so long. It makes it easier for them to say, you know what? Forget permission. I don't need permission from she.
I'll ask forgiveness after.
Yeah, forgiveness after. Forget permission. So that's why I'm telling you, I'm baffled. I used to be baffled by the amount of people who would come up to you and speak to me. Like, I was in Form 6 When I was in lower form, the Form 6 were the untouchables. You cannot talk to them unless they come and talk to you. So, I don't know.
So what would you tell the young people in today's society from the woman's point of view?
From the woman's point of view?
From the woman's point of view. Because I'm sure some women, even in, we could say India and Trinidad, wherever,
Right.
some women are scared to walk down the street.
I'm sure. I am sure.
So what advice do you have for them?
Well, the advice I have for first the ladies is that, yes, some men will be highly disrespectful. Sometimes you really have to ignore.
Yeah.
Or better yet, don't go anywhere by yourself. Do not go anywhere by yourself. If you feel as though you are put in a position where you have to go by yourself, act like you're on the phone or something. You know, like if you're talking to somebody. I mean, that does work.
Yeah.
Being on the phone, people doesn't come and approach you as often as they would when you have nothing in your hand. So act like you're on the phone or something. Even if you had to walk, do it from the time you reach to the store to the reach back home. It doesn't matter. Just protect yourself in ways that's simple. It ought to be no extravagant, nothing. And for the men, you don't have to treat women like queens to the point that you're bowing down and everything, you know, like a servant.
Yeah.
Women are not asking for servants. They are asking for respect. Nothing's wrong with just seeing a woman, complimenting her simply. You know, you look beautiful today, and then going about your way. Not everything you have to push the matter. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Girl, you're so sweet, girl. Girl, you're a real sweet girl. Oh gosh, girl. Woo! Yeah, girl. We could really do without it. We could do without it. We could do without it.
Wait. One last question. But those are some good comments and some good thoughts you give out there.
Right.
And I hope that the women and men actually listening to the podcast and actually adjust to suit to make sure you have a comfortable environment to be in. This term birdie.
Birdie.
Yeah.
Like my little bird. My little bird.
Yeah, you like that?
No.
I hear some women like that.
Really?
Yeah, they like to be
Okay,
called bird.
personally, I feel as though when I'm called that, I just wonder if you have more buddies. You have more buddies? Or am I your only bird? Because when it add the e's at the end, it makes it sound like you have more than one.
Right.
If you say I'm your bird, I feel that it's more singular. But even then, I'd still don't like it. I'm your woman, you're my man. Yes, like
Why bird?
I don't know, you know. Tweet.
Yeah, what? With that, we'll come to an end of this podcast. We want to thank Alexia for coming out.
Yes, I'll try to make an effort more often, okay?
Alright, so subscribe, watch, and share this podcast, and
Yes.
make sure you support Alexia
On
in
my
the pageant.
pattern journey, yes.
Right.
The 19th
19th
and the 26th
and the 26th
of August this year.
Both
Sapa and Napa, respectively.
Later.
Thank you for listening to On The Beat Podcast. Feel free to share, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay blessed, everyone.